Hi everyone, so I'd like to just share a little thought about renewable energy, but not quite in the way that you think. There's a little verse in scripture which speaks about this. It says, "Those that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They'll rise on eagle's wings and they will not grow tired or weary." That is renewable energy. And I think over the last 6 months, 7 months, I've done incredible things that I didn't know I was capable of. So I've been in a 7-month battle, really, the biggest battle of our lives, and which you can read about a little bit more on my blog. So in the blog I just share a few tips about how we've done life over the last 7 months. But it's the energy that I've had has been incredible, and I think it's been more than just running off adrenaline. I can be a bit of an adrenaline junkie, but I think it's been a bit more than that. What strikes me is that God's quite clever in a way, really. He's provided a mechanism for us to survive in really difficult times, and this is what this scripture is about. He gave it as a framework for the Israelites to survive in some really difficult times. He speaks about how you renew your strength is by waiting on the Lord, which I'll chat about in a minute. Life can throw anything at you at any point. And what I recognise, I've just been pondering, how have I done what I've done? I've been pondering that, and I think one of the things I have to recognise and acknowledge is, for the last 20 odd years, I've been part of a church which has a Pentecostal flavour to it, and so they've had prayer meetings every Wednesday night, and what I didn't realise what we were doing then was we've been investing in prayer. So it's like you put an investment in the bank, so when comes a day when you can't pray because you just don't know how to, because life's terrible, or you're struck down with something, or whatever happens, but you think, I have no words to say anything anymore. But the good news is you've invested in that bank of prayer, and you start to make withdrawals on that. That's quite an interesting concept, isn't it? So I didn't plan any of this. I didn't realise what I was doing, but I think there's been an investment there for us to draw on, which has given us real strength and endurance in this tricky time that we've been through. It's also, recognising when you're in a battle, you can't pray. Because when you're in a battle, all you can do sometimes is stand, and that's how you fight. If you think about soldiers that go to war, they train beforehand, don't they? They don't train during. All their exercise is done pre-battle. So there's no exercise when you're on the battleground because you're too busy fighting. I think about those soldiers of days of old, when they wore all the metal suits and that. They just fought. They were in full armour and they fought, and that's what we've been doing. So in those times it's a different lifestyle, a different rhythm of life. So if you can pray up beforehand, if you can get 20 years, if you get 30, if you get 40, if you get 50, that's a great well to start drawing on when the battle comes, because it will, because we're all tested and tried in life, aren't we? And we'll all face things that we don't want to face. That's life. Life's not particularly fair, is it? So that's life. Yes, I think the second thing that I've done is I've walked out this scripture. So it says, wait upon the Lord, those that wait upon the Lord. That word wait is a doing word, so it's an active word. It's not a sit around and let's see what happens. It's a very proactive word. So I've waited on people, I've served them, I've served God, and I've continued to serve God throughout all this time, but I've also served other people that have needed help. So my mind hasn't actively been on the problems. I've been doing in the doing zone, where I've just got on and methodically done what I've needed to do to get to where I am today. Incredible, really. And that has renewed my energy. There are days when I've felt very tired, don't get me wrong, but it's not a tiredness that is going to take you out. It's a tiredness that you sleep off and you think, right, get up, regroup, crack on with the day. So those two things, serving God, and by doing that we serve other people, don't we? And also drawing on that investment of prayer. And now I'm coming to a season of rest from the battle, hopefully. I'll be building up in that well again of prayer and investing again, because I can now see the absolute benefit that it's done for us. Incredible. So God has provided, and He will provide, and He continues to provide for us on all our needs. And sometimes you don't realise the how until you sit there reading it one day in the scripture and it slaps you around the face. You know, one of the things that is well known in addiction is the letters HALT, H-A-L-T, and they stand for, you know, when you're hungry, when you're angry, when you're lonely, when you're tired, you are vulnerable to self-soothing. If you're waiting on the Lord, if you're serving God and serving people, if your mind's not on yourself and the problems that you have, if you can just do something to sort of jumpstart yourself, almost put the jump leads on and go, right, let's come out of my head and jumpstart myself, help somebody else, do something practical, you won't self-soothe. And you know, because none of us want to go down that route really of self-soothing. It's not healthy, it's not good for us. It doesn't renew our energy, it drains it. So just a couple of things that I've pondered really over the last 7 months, particularly the last few weeks, as I'm coming out of this time, I'm like, have I actually done this? And that's what I've done. I've drawn on that investment, which I didn't realise I was doing, and also I've served others and served God. And by doing that, it's renewed my energy. So if you're feeling like you're in a bit of a stuck place, you're in a battle, in the battleground, stand, get up and stand and fight and do something. Whatever you can do it and do it really well.